Hi, this is Jim with Glitter and Stone Templates. Just making a quick video here on how to duplicate sticking a mascot head, really sticking whatever you want inside of text and making it vinyl ready production artwork. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Now in this instance, we're going to insert this hawk head here into the letters for hawks. First, I'm going to start out by looking at how my hawk is constructed. So the black portion behind the hawk is completely solid. Then you have a red portion going over top of that, as well as a white portion for the face. So the first thing that you want to do is type out hawks in any font. This is still text. I used Boris Black blocks. And then what we're going to do is place the hawk head where we want it to appear on the text. So, and you can stretch to fit, you can move with your arrow keys, whatever you choose to do will work just fine. That looks pretty good there, I think, so that's what we will start with. The next thing that we're going to do is draw a rectangle with our rectangle tool over here around the entire design. And once that rectangle's created, we'll just select our pick tool so that we can continue to work with the artwork. So now we're going to highlight the hawk head, the hawks, and the box we created, and we need to create a duplicate. You can do this by pressing the plus key on your keyboard. You can copy and paste, or you can hold down your left mouse button and drag. And then what you want to do is click your right mouse button one time and then release the left one. And that will create a duplicate. So now what we need to do is try to get this hawk's head inside the letters here. So that's going to take some trimming. What we're going to do in this instance is we've still got our pick tool selected. We're going to select the word hawks by left clicking on it. We're going to hold down our shift key and click on the box we created. And up here at the top, there's a button, Combine. So we're going to click the Combine button, and that combines the letters with the box we created. We can make it a color just for visual reference, so we'll make it yellow in this instance. Now what we want to do is we want to start trimming this design down. So what we're going to do is when you're trimming, you always want to start with the image that you're trying to trim, and then your secondary selection would be the image you're trimming to. So we're going to start with our box. So left click on the box with the hawks, and then we're going to hold down our shift key. We're going to select our black part of our hawk by left clicking, and then we're going to come up here and hit trim. So once we click that once, you'll see that the black is now trimmed to hawks. Okay, so now we're going to repeat this with the red. So we're going to click our box, shift key, click the red, go up and click trim. Now the red is trimmed. Now we're going to do the same thing with the white. Click the box, shift key, click the white, and trim. So now this is completely trimmed. And the reason why we made this box up here and created a duplicate is so that we can get this image centered back directly on those letters where we want it. So now what we need to do is delete our original hawk, or you can just highlight it and move it out of the way. So I'm going to highlight it, move it over here off to the side because we're done with it. So now what we want to do is we want to select our box, hawks, and the trimmed head, and we're going to group that together. There's a button up here to click for group, or you can simply hit Control-G on your keyboard, and that will group the artwork. Now your box and your hawk head will be selected. You're going to hold down your shift key and click that box that we created earlier around the first text. Now there's some shortcut keys on your keyboard that'll help you line this back up. You're going to hit C to center vertically, and you're going, or to center horizontally, I mean. And you're going to click E to center vertically. And now you can see here that your hawk head is lined back up in the letters. So what we're going to do is we're going to ungroup, click off, and anywhere outside of our box here. And now we're going to select our box, and just delete it. And we're done with this other box here too, so we'll click on that and we can delete that. Now you're left with your head and your text. In this instance, it would be, a gray shirt. That's the background. What we would do is, make the text probably white. Now you have this head to deal with, okay? So what I'm going to do, just real quick, is just turn the text back orange, because it looks right now like our image is done, okay? But my concern with the first image is I'm pretty sure that it was done where the image was printed out on printable vinyl and then a plotter cutter cut it out of the printed image. If we were to try and cut and press this right now, we could do that, but it wouldn't turn out quite right. Well, actually, first we'd have to get this white text. In this instance, it would need to be orange. To do that, if you'd like to try doing it this way, now all you would need to do is take your white part of your face, hold down your shift key, click inside the black portion, and then you would hit trim. And then what you could do is just delete the white part of the face. And what you're going to see is that you have the text coming down. If we changed the text to white, your eyes would be there. Everything would be fine. But what you're going to find when you press it, because the vinyl does shrink when it heats up, the shirts move when you pull the carrier sheet off. It's real hard to get things lined up perfect, okay? So what I'm going to do is I want to undo what I did. So now we're back to white text, and the face is no longer trimmed into the black. If you just take the time to do a few extra steps, you'll really, really appreciate it later on. For the simple reason that you can add like an outline to this and then make things overlap, and you won't be able to see any of your mistakes. You won't have to line it up 100% perfect, and you'll be left with clean lines at the end. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to create an outline around our original text. So to do that, we would use our contour tool. That's found in Windows, Dockers, Contour. Mine is selected, so it's going to show up in my Contour Docker over here on the right-hand side. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our text, and these three buttons here at the top, now they might look different to you. After each Corel update, they tend to change button styles. All the way to the left will create an unlimited amount of steps all the way to the center of the object. In the center, you're going to the button in the center will apply an inside contour, and the button all the way to the right will apply an outside contour. Now again, while the buttons may look different in your version, they all do the exact same thing. Okay, so in this instance, we're going to create an outside contour. So we're going to go ahead and click the button all the way to the right. We only want to do one step, and what we want to do is we want to only make this like 1.5 millimeters, because you don't want it to get too big. So the nice thing about the Contour Docker is you can change the unit size right in the Docker. So we can just type 1.5 millimeter and hit enter. Oh, well, first I want to change my outline and fill color size, because right now the fill is white. You won't be able to see the contour. So we'll just change it to blue. So now you'll see that the contour is blue. So we'll go back up here one more time and do 1.5 excuse me, millimeters, which equates to 0.59 inches. That's why it changed. But then we click apply, and now we have a contour. Okay, this is going to turn out to be our image outline. So what we're going to do is we're going to break the contour group apart. We're going to select our original white piece. And you can see that we did that. We can move it all around. We can do whatever we want with it. All we're going to do is delete it. So just select your white piece, hit delete on the keyboard, and you're done, basically. Now we have this outline here, and what we want to do is we're going to change that outline. Whatever color you made it is going to go back to your original text color. And then we need to start working with our vector artwork, in this case the hawk head. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the black portion, which is his entire outline, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to create a contour line, but this time we don't want to go 1.5 millimeters. This time we want to do half of that, so that we still have a little room within the outline that we're creating to work in. So this time I'm going to type 0.75 millimeter, so just 0.75 mm, and we're going to hit apply. Now you see that you have the outline here around your black, and you still have white outside of that, which is good. That's what we want. So we're going to right click on that, we're going to break contour group apart, and we're going to click off of it. Now what you want to do is select the original black portion, and then you're going to hold down your shift key, click the white portion of your text, and you're going to trim. Okay? Now you want to select just the black portion, and you want to delete it, just like we did earlier. Now we're going to select, this blue portion or whatever color you chose. We're going to change it back to black. Okay? Now you see here that there's a black gap in between the red and the white. That's because we haven't done anything with the red yet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select the red, hold down the shift key, select the black. Now we're going to trim the red into the black. So, actually, let's not do that first. Select the red. We're going to make the outline first. So we'll do 0.75 millimeters, create the outline. We're going to right click on the contour. We're going to break it apart. Then we're going to select our red, hold shift, select the black, and we're going to hit our trim button to trim it. And then we can go ahead and delete our red, change our secondary color. In this instance it was gray. We're going to turn that back to red. And now, it looks pretty good, but the outline's pretty thin, and it's still, you really can't see what's going on. The last thing that we need to do is we need to select this white portion. Okay? And what we need to do is we need to weld this white portion back into the letter here. So we select our face, we select our hawks, the white part of the text, hold shift, click the hawks, and we're going to weld it in. Now it looks like it disappeared, but it didn't. Okay? What it did was it became part of this white. Now what we need to do is kind of stack it how we would cut it, and you're going to see how it will turn out. So what we would do in this instance is we would press the red first. So we'll go ahead and send that to the back of the page. You do that by select your red, right click, order to back of page. Now you're going to do the same thing with the black. You're going to take the black, right click, order to back of page, and now you're left with a perfectly production ready artwork for this hawk's head. I'll go ahead and show you the pieces separated so you can see what we ended up with versus what we started with. So we've got our white text, we've got our black body, and we've got our red. And remember, we welded the white part of the face in to match the color of the text, so that's included with the white now. So this is what we started with right here, and this is what we ended up with. But the nice thing about doing things this way is now this file is automatically set up to be able to use glitters. It's all trapped. So that's how you would do trapping in CorelDraw as well, by adding contour lines so that objects overlap slightly. Now you've got most of your material hitting the garment so that it's not going to peel and curl. And not only can you do this with flat colors, and not only will it hide any mistakes with perfect alignment and things of that nature, you can also use glitter colors. So that was the video. I hope you liked it, and enjoy.